In this video, I'm going to cover the scenarios when you would not want to use Spike in your day-to-day processes. Keep in mind that Spike can be used for site surveys, installation, graphic design, permitting, project management, and customer retention. So you can use Spike to measure the majority of the time. However, you may run across a situation where Spike should be left in your toolbox. Let me walk you through some of those scenarios. There's a reason we don't market Spike as a precise measurement solution. Spike provides very good accuracy, which is what we call plus or minus 1%. Precision tools come with a higher cost and require precision people with lots of training. Spike is designed for measurement convenience and acquiring the best data possible for the everyday user from their mobile device. In this example here on the screen, Spike is perfect for taking an estimate and collecting a photo record. This photo can then be used for the quote to the customer and for your designer. However, we would not want to produce the sign with the measurements collected with Spike. In this instance, we're assuming that you would require, let's say, a 1/16 of an inch accuracy. So you would want to go back and remeasure the sign after winning the job and collecting your deposit. Mother Nature can affect your usage of Spike, specifically where there is line of sight obstruction. So to be successful with Spike, you do need a clear line of sight to your target objects. Rain, snow, fog could actually affect the functionality of the laser itself, so we recommend putting the tool aside at that time. Things like low light affect the contrast, which could make it more difficult for you to see the object being measured. If you run across reflective surfaces or windows, we do recommend a workaround so that you continue to use Spike. You don't want to aim the laser at highly reflective surfaces, such as reflective coating or water, because it will reflect the laser, giving you an inaccurate distance reading. Same thing with windows. The laser could go right through the window. So what we do recommend is pointing the laser at a solid surface nearby, such as the window frame, or putting a piece of paper on the surface to use as your target. A tip is that you'll see that laser distance reading bouncing around or not showing you something that's correct. You might only be 20 feet away, but it's showing you 40 feet. So the tip is to paint the laser across different surfaces to see the distance reading change and understand which reading is your correct guide. We frequently get asked about using Spike for vehicle wraps. Let me answer that question by using feedback we've received from our users. Keep in mind that Spike's photo measurement feature is intended for flat surfaces. So where we have heard Spike can be beneficial for vehicle wraps is when you are working on a boxy vehicle and a template for that vehicle doesn't exist. For example, box trailers, pickup trucks, and semi-trucks. We would not recommend using Spike on vehicles with curves, as the accuracy of your measurements with Spike will decrease. The last scenario where we'd recommend not using Spike is if you are unable to avoid being at an oblique angle to your object. Let me elaborate. For highest accuracy with Spike, you want to be positioned as perpendicular as possible to your object. However, we recognize that you are almost never perfectly perpendicular to your object and that you will be at both a horizontal and vertical angle. This is why Spike guides you to correct your angles before proceeding with measurements. Keep in mind that with Spike, you can be up to quite a distance away from your target. This allows you to move yourself to reduce angles. For example, rather than standing right below a pole sign or multi-story building, you can step across the street to a safe location and reduce your horizontal angle. Or you can walk over a few feet and position yourself at less than a 60-degree angle horizontally. However, there are times where you may not be able to reduce your angle. Maybe you're in a narrow street in a big city. In those cases where you can't be at less than a 60-degree angle, we recommend not using Spike. If you have any additional questions about using Spike, please don't hesitate to contact us.